everybody. Thanks for tuning in again today. We're going to start today with a seated meditation. So some people call it meditation, other people call it mindful awareness, but we're just going to allow ourselves to get present. We spend so much of our days either thinking about the future, worrying about what may or may not happen, sometimes excited about the future, and then other times we're also still living in our past. So we're going to take just a few moments to allow ourselves to become in this present moment, become grounded. So if you would like to take your hands, just starting with your hands palms up, they can rest comfortably in your lap. If you have a couple cushions or blocks, you can stay seated here. You can sit in Sukhasana, easy sitting pose. And just take a moment to soften your gaze or let your eyes shut down. And as we begin to become aware, the difference between our mindful awareness and our regular awareness is that element of compassion. So throughout your practice today, letting the judgment go, no comparisons, no rights, no wrongs. And then we're going to do a 4-7-8 breathing exercise today. So we'll do an inhale for a count of 4, a pause and hold for a count of 7, an exhale for a count of 8. I'll lead you through a few rounds, and again, that can be your count. It shouldn't cause extra stress or anxiety. If that's not working for you, you can return back to a normal breath at any time. On our inhale, we're just going to, if you want to add the movements with, you can. For some, it may be a little bit distracting, but you can inhale and open the hands for a count of 4, 3, 2, pause and hold, 6, 7, and then make a fist to draw that air out, navel drawing in towards spine, 6, 7, 8. Open for 4, 3, 2, and hold. Exhale, 8. Just a couple more rounds on your own. And after your next exhale, just coming to a few clearing breaths where you take a breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth, let it go. One more time like that. Breath in through the nose, clearing breath and out. And then we're going to come into our mats next. So setting your bolster block, whatever you were using, to the side. We're coming into a tabletop hands and knees position. And just starting with some gentle cat and cows. On the inhale, the heart shines, the chest opens. As you exhale, round your back, let your head get heavy. Allowing your movement and your breath to flow together. And then coming back to our neutral spine, we're going to extend that right hand forward, left leg back. Just pause and lengthen for a few breaths. If you want to close your eyes, it'll give you a moment to feel more of the grounding and the strength in your hands, focusing on that proprioception or the feedback of your body in space. And then lowering that right hand down to the floor, we're going to take that left leg out to the side and come back to our cat and cows. As we inhale, the heart chest opens up. Still exhale, rounding the back. Noticing maybe a little bit more opening through your hips. Still feeling the grounding through both hands. And then coming back to a neutral spine, we'll keep the legs and draw the arms and reach up overhead. As we exhale, lowering just the right hand down to the side, side body reach. Inhale, coming up. Exhaling to the other side. Those toes can turn open or they can be forward. Let the knee point up towards the ceiling. If it's an option, the hand can lower down to the floor or maybe your bolster or block. And the next time that right hand comes down to the floor, we'll pause here. Roll the shoulders back, the chest opens up. Inhale, the hands come back up high in the center. Anjali Mudra, heart center, or to your hips. We're going to bring that left leg around to the front. You can open them up for a moment if you'd like and try just a static line, balance move. Maybe it's coming up onto toes, or maybe it's playing with lifting the front foot. Release the foot down. Inhale, the arms reach back up overhead. And then exhale, let the elbows draw down. Heart shines, chest opens. Bring the hands back up overhead. And then we're going to bring the hands forward down to the floor on the inside of that front leg. The leg can stay hugging in towards the tricep, or option to let that leg float open, grounded on the pinky toe side of your foot. Bringing the leg back to center, and then we'll swing it back into tabletop, hands and knees. Now the right side going out for our cat and cows as we inhale, the chest opening up. Exhale and round your back. At any time you feel comfortable closing your eyes. And just allowing your movement and your breath to flow together. Coming back, neutral spine. We're going to bring that torso up tall. As we exhale, taking the right hand down towards your leg. And just flowing side to side, inhaling to center, exhale and reach. Again, if that bottom hand doesn't quite reach the floor, you can place your cushion or bolster underneath. And we'll do one more round each direction. The next time that left hand comes down to the floor, we'll pause and hold here. Lengthen through that right arm, roll the shoulders back, let the hips press forward. Inhale, come up tall in the center. We're going to bring that right foot around to the front. Option to take those arms out into a T. Maybe you stay here and close your eyes, or maybe you play with lifting that front foot up. Lower the foot down, hands are coming to the floor on the inside of that front leg. Option to stay with the knee hugging in, or that lizard lunge as the right leg falls open. Bringing the leg back to center, we'll swing it back into tabletop hands and knees. And then let your hips reach back, your arms to reach forward and long. Maybe allowing your legs to use as feedback. So as you breathe in, the ribs expand out onto the legs. We'll walk our hands over to the right side, finding lengthen our torso, a side body stretch. Inhale, the legs coming back to center, or the arms coming back to center. Exhale, the hands reach to the other side, lengthening through the torso. The hips are grounding and back. And inhale, coming back to center, back onto that tabletop, hands and knees. And we're going to do a thread the needle flow, starting with the right side. On the inhale, the arm lifts and reaches up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, thread that hand palm under and through. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale and through. One more time here. Inhale. As you exhale, thread the hand under and through. Maybe it's an option to bring the shoulder down to the floor. That left hand can reach to the top of the mat, or an option to bring it into a half bind behind your back. Reaching for the inside of that right leg. Bringing the left hand back down to the floor, the right arm opens up to the ceiling. Coming back to tabletop, and we'll switch sides. The left hand reaching up. The right hand threads, or the left hand threading under and through. A few more rounds. Inhale and open. Twisting on your exhale. One more round. And the next time you thread that arm under and through, we'll pause and hold here. Again, maybe it's an option for the shoulder, the side of the face to rest. If not, grabbing your pillow, your block, and placing underneath. That right hand can reach to the top, or it can bind behind your back. Bringing the right hand back down under your shoulder, pressing back up to tabletop as the left arm reaches, comes back to center. Walk your hands a little bit farther forward, and then either snaking or lowering yourself down from your knees. Let the elbows draw back. The hands can come forward underneath your forehead. Let the hips be heavy, the head to be heavy. And imagine lengthening your toes back to the end of the mat. On the inhale, just lifting the right leg a few inches. And release and set it down. Switching sides, inhale and lift. And release and lower. And just alternating, allowing the movement and the breath to flow together. And we'll do one more round each side here. And then bending the knees, allowing the feet to just gently windshield wiper side to side. Coming back to center, let the legs release and lower down to the floor, and then gently roll to your back. Start to let your head get heavy. Just take a minute to check in. If you want to take one hand on the navel, one hand on the collarbone. And just begin to become aware of which hand is moving more. Then releasing hands down to the floor, bending your knees. Let the neck be long, the pit of the belly to draw in, and then we're going to lift the hips up, bridge pose. The hands can stay at your side, or maybe the shoulders roll underneath and bind. Gently release the hands, roll the hips back down to the floor. Allow the soles of the feet to come together into butterfly, or the knees to come together and the feet to open into tent. Then drawing the knees in towards your torso. You can rock side to side or massage your lower back onto the floor. Keeping a hold of just your right leg, let the left leg get heavy. We're just going to start to draw some circles with that ankle on the right side, going both directions. And then lowering that right foot down to the floor, let the leg fall open like you're in Vrikshana tree. So the left leg extending, the neck is long, the head is heavy. If it's too much of an opener, you can grab your block and place it underneath the outside of the leg to give it a little bit of support. Using your hands, draw the knees back in towards center. Take a breath in. As you exhale, draw your nose up towards your knees, let it go. Inhale, let your head get heavy back to the mat. Holding on to just the left leg, the right leg lowers down. And then we'll start to draw those ankle circles on the left side, going both directions. And then lowering the left foot down to the mat, allowing the knee to fall open. Hands can be at your side, maybe they're in cactus or goalpost. Using your hands, draw your knees back in towards center. Lower the feet down to the floor. Grab your cushion, your block, place it underneath your sacrum. Not up into your upper or your mid back, but down at your lower back. And then allowing those feet to lift up into waterfall. Still allowing the head to be heavy and the neck to be long. Gently bend the knees, lower the toes down to the floor, remove the block out to the side, and coming into Shavasana for a few rounds of breaths. Let your arms be heavy. Let the thumbs draw open to open up through your shoulders. And again, bringing that compassion into your practice. Not allowing yourself to have labeling or judgments, comparisons at that moment. But just tuning into this very present moment on your mat. Maybe by counting your breath, that allows you to be more grounded. Gently move fingers and toes. Bend your arms and knees to come over onto a side to press yourself up to seated. Coming into seated, we'll start by plugging our thumbs in towards our sternum, into our heart for kind actions. We'll bring our thumbs up to our lips for kind words.